So one question I've gotten from several students is how to make MIDI parts in Pro Tools without a MIDI controller. Unfortunately, Pro Tools is one of the very few DAWs that does not allow you to use your typing keyboard as a musical keyboard. So I'm going to show you two ways to accomplish this task. First, you can go to Track, New Track, and select an instrument track. Create that. We're going to load this up with a virtual instrument. I'm going to choose Expand. Now, the key is to get a blank MIDI clip, and there are two ways to do that. I'm going to record arm the track, hit record, and then play, and just let it create a blank MIDI clip. There. Then you can stretch this out and make it however long it needs to be. Once you have a blank clip, you can double click on it with the grabber tool, and the MIDI editor will pop up. Now, if you did what I just did and were too far up in the track with your smart tool on, you will have the selector. So make sure you go down to the bottom of the track and double click, and the MIDI editor will pop up. Just in case, if that does not happen, you may want to go under your Pro Tools menu to the Preferences and go to the MIDI tab and check that this preference setting is enabled. Double-clicking a MIDI clip opens the MIDI editor. Okay. Once you're in the MIDI editor, you can double-click with your smart tool and create notes. You can drag those notes out, you can change the pitch, and you can do whatever you need to do. If you would like to use the pencil tool, you can also pencil notes in, and they will respond to the grid. You can play around with the different shapes. It's kind of fun. You can also delete notes with the Smart tool by highlighting them and clicking Delete or Backspace on a Windows computer. So that's one way to make a MIDI clip. I'm going to close the MIDI editor. Another way is to simply highlight a section of time and press Shift Option 3 or Shift Alt 3 on a Windows computer, and it creates a MIDI clip instantly. And then you can do the same thing. You can double click on it and go in and start drawing notes. Now that's a way you can get around the not having a MIDI controller problem. The other thing you can do, if you are savvy enough to do it without a demonstration, is to find pre-made MIDI clips on the internet and import them. For those of you without a MIDI controller at home, I would accept this as an alternative to not having MIDI at all. Hope this helps.